Hello guys, welcome. You are with Priyanka and today I am stepping into a new journey of my brand new channel. It's coding time. Hope you will enjoy learning with me. Today we are going to talk about message queuing system with RabbitMQ. RabbitMQ is an open source message broker. So let's start. To start with message queuing with RabbitMQ, you need some prerequisites. The first thing that you need to install in your machine is NodeJs. I already have NodeJs installed, so let's check the version. I'm using version 12 of NodeJs. Next you need is RabbitMQ management. RabbitMQ management is the message broker which holds and transports the message. I have installed the message queuing RabbitMQ using homebrew. To check that, I will check brew services list. As you can see, the RabbitMQ is started in my machine. If you don't have RabbitMQ installed already, you can type brew services brew install RabbitMQ and hit enter to install the RabbitMQ service using homebrew. Since I already have installed in my machine, so it will tell me that it is already installed. The version of the RabbitMQ I am using is 3.8.2. To start the RabbitMQ service, we need to write brew services start RabbitMQ. Hit enter. Since my service is already started, it is displaying this message. Otherwise, it will be. To access RabbitMQ management, you need to go to localhost 15672. Then you can see this login screen in front of you. The default username and password to login is guest. So the username is also guest and the password is also guest. After logging in, you can see the overview in front of you. We will not go into the details of all this. Today we will only work with queues. I have only one queue available here, which is a test queue. Now let's look at how to create a producer and a consumer using Node.js. I am using Visual Studio Code as my editor. You can choose any other available editors of your choice. To start the project, we will first create a new folder, RabbitMQ tutorial, and open. I will open the integrated terminal which is available for Visual Studio Code. Now we will initialize the package manager using npm. So let's type npm init-y to accept the defaults. It will generate a package.json file for you. And you can see like this. Now, I will be using a library for connecting and receiving and sending messages to the the RabbitMQ management, the library is this AMQP lib. So let's install this library in our project. npm install AMQP lib. As you can see, the dependency is added, AMQP lib. Let's create our first script, which is a sender.js. Sender.js will act as a producer to send message to the queue. First, we will import the library amqp lib / callback API. The first step to use the library is connect to the RabbitMQ management. For that, we will type amqp dot connect. The protocol that is used for this connection is AMQP, which stands for Asynchronous Message Queuing Protocol. I will connect to the localhost. It sends a callback with an error and returns the connection. I am using ES6 arrow functions. This can be also done using normal JavaScript callback functions. So after creating the connection, we will throw an error if there is any error. Otherwise, we will create channel. This is step 2. Step 1 will be create connection. To create a channel, we will use the connection object, which is returned by this connect function. This connection object will have a create channel function, which will pass again a callback with a channel error and return the channel. If there is any channel error, we will throw the channel error, otherwise we will continue. Step 3 will be to assert the queue. Asserting the queue will simply check if the queue is present in our available RabbitMQ. If not, the queue will be created for us. So to create a queue or assert a queue, we can use the channel object passed from the create channel function, and we can type assert queue. We need to pass the name of the queue that we want to assert here. So let's declare a constant queue coding test. We will pass the constant here to assert. Now we have asserted our queue. Now let's send message to queue, which can be done using channel dot send to queue. This function takes two arguments. The first argument is the queue where we want to send the message to. Remember, the queue is the post box where we are sending our messages to. The second argument will be the exact message that we want to send. This message is received as a buffer, so we will create using the buffer JavaScript function. Buffer.from, where I can pass a string of my choice, hello from its coding time. This is an asynchronous function. It is a kind of fire and forget. So you fire the message and you forget about it, and you can be sure that the message will be delivered. So we will console log that message is sent. If you want to log which queue it is sending, then we can use template and pass the queue name here. Let's run our script. Node sender.js. So as we can see, message is sent to the queue coding test. To verify this, we open our Management Studio and we can see there is a queue coding test. Click on it and you can see there is one message received in the queue coding test. Since there is no consumer listening to this message, that's why the queue is still up and it is not going, the graph is not going down because there is no consumer listening to this coding test queue. Now we will work on another script where we will write a receiver. Let's create a new file called receiver.js. I will close the previous script. The first step here is also similar to sending the message. So I will copy the import of the library. The second step and the first step are same. So let's copy AMQP connect and creating the channel. Let's close the brackets. The third step is also same as well, to check if there is a queue. We have missed the first step. So we have to use the same queue name to listen to it. So I will assert or check if the queue is there. It will never create a queue with the same name. It will, if the queue is present, it will assert or check. If not, it will create a new one, but it will never create a new queue. Step 4 will be to receive messages. So we can use the channel received by this channel create channel function. So the channel object has access to the function consume, where I have to pass the queue name where I want to consume the messages from, and it returns a callback with the message. We can log the message here. Message received MSG. So let's see what happens. Node receiver.js. So as you can see, there is an object which is returned by this message. If we stringify it, you can still see object. So this object has some key which is available. So the message can be received inside content. If you log this, you can see hello from its coding time. This message is sometimes received as a buffer. If you do see a buffer, you can stringify this message using toString method. It will be same hello from its coding time. If you see the management now, there are two graphs which is going down, means we have read the messages 2 times. Now if you go down and check receive get messages, you can see there is one message available in coding test. The total number of messages that are available in the queue can be seen here in the total. So now currently we have total of one queue message available in this queue. Now we are already consuming the message. But now how to tell the management that the message is already consumed? Otherwise, as long as you start this receiver, it will keep consuming the message again and again. So once the message is consumed, we need to send an acknowledgement to the RabbitMQ management to specify that you can delete the message and we no longer need to process the message. To send that acknowledgement, we need to pass the third argument, which is no ACK false. Sorry, no ACK true. So now if you run the script, we are still receiving the message, but now if you see, the message is consumed and the total has gone to 0. So if we now get messages, we can see the queue is empty. This was a very short introduction to using RabbitMQ with NodeJs. I have not gone into the details. In real time, there will be workers connected to queues and to process the messages received. I have added all the useful links in the description below. Thank you for watching this video, and if you would like a more detailed RabbitMQ tutorial, please let me know in the comments below. If you have liked, please hit the like button and share this video. Leave your questions in the comment section and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you and see you again in my upcoming videos.